You're watching Shalom World News. I'm Rory McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. In his February prayer intention that was announced on Tuesday, the Holy Father urged all believers to pray for nuns and consecrated laywomen, saying that the Church cannot be understood without them. Pope Francis prayed for religious sisters who demonstrate the beauty of God's love and compassion through their service as catechists, spiritual guides, and theologians. He also exhorted consecrated women and sisters to discern how best they can respond to the challenges facing humanity. The pontiff also said that when faced with challenges, women religious should not be discouraged. Catholics in Pakistan are exulting as the Church has bestowed the title of Servant of God on a young believer who gave up his life while protecting worshippers from a jihadi suicide bomber. On January the 31st, that being the feast of St. John Bosco, Archbishop Sebastian Shaw of Lahore said that the Vatican has accepted the cause of 20-year-old Akash Bashir, who is now bestowed with the title of Servant of God. While serving as a volunteer at the St. John's Catholic Church in Johannabad in Lahore in 2015, Bashir intercepted a suicide bomber and prevented him from entering the premises. The militant, who belonged to a splinter group of the Taliban, blew himself up, killing 15 people, including Bashir, and injuring several others. Earlier, the young martyr's mother had told Pontifical Charity Aid to the Church in Need that her son wanted to become a volunteer and protect his church, even to the extent of giving up his life in the process. Nigeria has witnessed yet another bloodbath, with Fulani Herdsmen killing 11 Christians in the northern part of the country. The herdsmen attacked Kurmin Masara village in Kaduna state at 3 a.m. on January the 30th. They killed 11 Christians and injured several others. More than 30 properties were torched before the assailants left the village. One of the village elders, known as Mama Fide, was burned alive in her house. On January the 10th, Fulani herdsmen and Islamic terrorists attacked Gabagi Villa outside Kaduna city, killing 1 Christian and kidnapping 10 people, most of them being women and children. The Catholic bishops of Canada and representatives of Indigenous peoples in the country have issued a joint statement in which they have confirmed that the Holy Father Pope Francis will host a Canadian delegation of prelates and representatives of native communities in the last week of March at the Vatican. The joint statement was issued by the Assembly of First Nations, the Metis National Assembly, and the Tapiriit Kanatami Inuit. The statement says that the pontiff will meet the Indigenous delegations in the week of March the 28th, and there will be a final hearing with everyone on April the 1st. The meeting was scheduled for December last year, but it had to be postponed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The meeting was scheduled after the discovery of scores of unmarked graves of Indigenous children on the premises of former church-run residential schools in Canada. In Britain, Catholic and Anglican prelates assembled in Liverpool on February the 1st for a 2-day meeting that got underway with midday prayer in the city's Catholic cathedral, dedicated to Christ the King. As part of the events, the prelates undertook a fraternal pilgrimage walk down Hope Street that links the Metropolitan Cathedral and the Anglican Cathedral. En route, they stopped at the Shepherd Warlock Memorial that comprises the face-to-face sculptures of the late Catholic Archbishop Derek Warlock and the late Anglican Bishop David Shepherd of the City of Liverpool, who were close friends. Cardinal Vincent Nichols, the Archbishop of Westminster, and the Anglican Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, led their respective prelates for the meeting and the walk. An international coalition of Christian leaders across Europe, North America and Asia has sought clemency for jailed Hong Kong pro-democracy supporter and Catholic media mogul Jimmy Lai. In a letter submitted to Hong Kong's Chief Executive Carrie Lam, the signatories, including the President of the Federation of Asian Bishops' Conferences, Cardinal Charles Bo of Myanmar, and various other Catholic and Protestant leaders, appealed for a Chinese New Year amnesty for Lai and other imprisoned activists. Lai, the 74-year-old founder of the now-defunct Apple Daily newspaper, is charged with foreign collusion, sedition and fraud under Hong Kong's controversial national security law. He is currently serving a 20-month prison sentence for participating in the banned Tiananmen Square massacre vigil in June in 2020. The United Nations has urged the Taliban to reveal the details of 2 journalists who went missing on January the 31st. 2 local television journalists are said to have been detained by the Taliban, just days after 2 women activists also went missing. According to the Afghan Media Association, the Taliban kidnapped Ariana TV reporters Waris Hasrat and Aslam Hijab on Monday, with them then being taken to an unknown location. Condemning the situation and calling for the detainees' details, the UN Assistance Mission to Afghanistan tweeted about mounting concern about restrictions on media and free expression. The UN's message then urges the Taliban to make public why they detained the reporters and to respect Afghans' rights. After assuming power in August, hardline Islamists have repressed dissent by detaining opponents and violently dispersing anti-government protests. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us once again tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.